Lake Argyle, situated in the remote East Kimberley region in the north of Western Australia. The Kimberley is one of Australia's hottest regions, subject to monsoonal wet season, bringing unpredictable and often severe weather systems. And it was the home of the world-famous Argyle Diamond Mine for over 3 decades. The mine became the largest supplier of natural-coloured diamonds, including the highly coveted Argyle pink and red diamonds. The mine also had its own airport to fly personnel in and out, and on-site accommodation for workers. In November of 2020, the mine closed for good. Liberty Industrial was contracted by Rio Tinto with the complex task of deconstructing, demolishing, and removing all infrastructure. The scope of work is split into 2 main stages, with the first involving the removal of all major diamond process facilities. These process facilities included multiple multi-storey steel buildings and structures, some towering 45 metres high, conveyors, including the 950-metre-long overland inclined conveyor, primary and secondary crushers and other mining equipment, laydowns, and buried surfaces, including a 30-kilometre-long buried asbestos pipeline. For contaminated areas, a remediation plan was implemented involving the construction and management of site-based landfills. For Stage 2, support infrastructure for the mine, such as camp, power station and airport, will be removed after the rehabilitation of the site has been completed. As work began on the ground, Liberty Industrial leveraged its world-class fleet of equipment, inclusive of its custom-built 200-ton high-reach demolition machines. Excavators ranging from 25 to 75 tons, as well as dump trucks, dozers and material handlers, carried out a range of demolition works, processing of materials, and removal of concrete foundations across the site. For the larger structures, rather than rely on high-risk demolition techniques, Liberty Industrial deployed its world-class high-reach demolition fleet, ranging from 100 tons up to the impressive 200-ton high-reach, reinforcing Liberty Industrial's commitment to make the demolition environment safer by removing personnel from the work fronts. One exception to this approach was at the overland incline conveyor. Due to the inaccessibility for these machines to reach the area, an induced collapse was the only option. To ensure the perfect accuracy required to bring down this structure safely, Liberty Industrial leveraged its ASI, Extreme Loading for Structures, demolition simulation software, to accurately model and structure its safe collapse. The application of this innovative technology was a key factor in maximising safety on-site and minimising risk. All demolition materials were downsized in various scrap yards on-site using excavators ranging from 25 to 75 tons and a 75-ton inclined shear. Then materials were meticulously separated to maximise recycling rates and minimise occupation of the site landfills. The processed scrap was then relocated to the closest suitable shipping wharf, located over 200 kilometres away from the site, in Wyndham, WA. The scope of works also included the construction and management of site-based landfills and the remediation of contaminated areas across the site. These on-site landfills were split into 2 categories: general waste landfills and containment cells for contaminated waste. Liberty Industrial's holistically considered approach to waste management for the site involved waste management of residual contaminants and hazardous materials, such as asbestos and regulated wastes. All residual and process fluids, including lubricating and hydraulic oils, were collected into transportable containers and relocated to licensed process facilities for treatment and recycling. The containment cells for contaminated waste required the installation of cell liners to encapsulate the leachable hazardous material. Finally, when full, environmental protocols were deployed. Liberty Industrial ensured safe and effective capping of the cells without causing local environmental or hazardous risks in preparation for revegetation activities. The end of the project saw the successful removal of over 30 kilometres of hazardous pipework and 30,000 cubic metres of hydrocarbon-impacted soils. The project's heavy focus on recycling saw a significant contribution to environmental sustainability and resource conservation. Due to the remote location of the site, it was not economically viable to transport the scrap via road, as it was more than 1,000 kilometres from Darwin. We were able to lease a section of land next to a small local port at Wyndham, approximately 2 hours' drive away, to stockpile the processed scrap. There, the scrap was loaded onto ships in a 24/7 operation. Timing was critical, as shipments had to align with the river tides. A full 3 ship loadouts were completed, totaling 34,000 tonnes of ferrous metals and 1,000 tonnes of non-ferrous metals. And over 800 tonnes of high-density polyethylene processed piping was methodically cut into transportable lengths and relocated to a licensed facility 2,800 kilometres away in Perth, to be further broken down and processed for reuse. As a recognition of its unwavering commitment to safety and track record on the project, Liberty was awarded the Global Rio Tinto Safety Award for Best Contract Partner for their work at the Argyle and Gove closure sites. Liberty Industrial also saw successes in local and traditional owner engagement strategies, which resulted in including 8 traditional owner businesses directly assisting with the project, and saw 2 successful traineeships progressing to full-time employment. During the project, COVID lockdowns required the entire site management team to relocate to Perth, and 80% of the blue-collar personnel relocated from other states, demonstrating the team's commitment to the project. The project successfully commenced on 18th of January 2021, and Phase 1 was completed on time and without incident on 15th of April 2024. It is anticipated that Liberty will come back for Phase 2 in 2025 to complete the removal of the remaining support infrastructure.